In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Darth Vader for the Saga collection. And this is the Battle of Hoth version of him. There were several Darth Vaders released during this time. I'm trying to think which ones. There was another one that had a bunch of the gear that he throws at Luke Skywalker during their personal duel in Cloud City there. And then I believe there was a few others from Return of the Jedi, so there may have been 3 or 4 different single-carded Vaders that were released during the Saga collection. But this was the very first one in the numbering line, and number 13, as you can see right there. So the reason why I'm wanting to unbox this on the channel is one of the things I want to do is do at least one unboxing for each of the figure lines. And I think up till now I have not done one for the Saga collection as of yet. And I figure no better character to do than the man himself, Darth Vader. And this is a pretty good action figure. It's one I've kind of eyed for the last 18 years now. I recall seeing him in stores quite frequently back in 2006, but I just never got around to getting him. At the time, the Revenge of the Sith Darth Vader was my definitive one, and I was perfectly happy with just having that one. But now I like to collect as many of the Vader variants as possible, and particularly the best of the best ones from each of the lines. And I think this one may have been the best one from the Saga collection. And even to today's standards, I think this one still holds up pretty good. But we'll take a closer look at that here in a minute. And I know a lot of people still regard this one as a very good Vader as well. So we have the Star Wars logo up here, and it's Empire Strikes Back, obviously, and you see the Hoth setting in the background there, which is very nice. Kind of miss having a lot of those backgrounds. Image of Vader there. Darth Vader, Saga 13. I will mention, I think this Vader is technically a repack. I think it may have been, I forget exactly which figure it was borrowed from, but I think it was like an anniversary Darth Vader, like the 400th or 500th figure or something like that. I think they did one for Boba Fett as like the 300th figure that Hasbro made. I could be wrong, but I think it had something to do with that. But I do know for sure this is not the original. So we have an image of Vader there. This kind of looks like that scene where he storms off at the end of his duel with Luke there, and then he says, "Bring my shuttle," in the original version. That's what it makes me think of, but that could be on Hoth. It's hard to tell. I really like the descriptions they give here, like obsession, finding Luke Skywalker, identifies the rebel base on Hoth, prepares forces for a ground assault. Description that's more scene specific there. Image of Vader there. I'll just go ahead and read the description real quick. Darth Vader, Battle of Hoth, Dark Lord of the Sith, is obsessed with finding the young rebel who destroyed the Death Star. Vader and his master are certain that this boy is the offspring of Anakin Skywalker. Following up on a probe droid lead, Vader quickly identifies the rebel base on Hoth, but arrives too late, as the last of the rebels flee Echo Base in the Millennium Falcon. Nice description there. And then the other figures, I do have the AT-AT driver and General Veers reviewed on the channel. I used to own this Boba Fett from the Saga line, but I will have to get that one again at some point. I will be doing the Snowtrooper here soon, that particular one. And then I wouldn't mind having the Power Droid at some point. That's a pretty good set. And it's not just the Power Droid itself. I think it comes with the Treadmill Droid or the Treadwheel Droid. These two aren't too bad either. These were massive peg warmers back in 2006 and even going into 7. And of course, it seems to always happen to me, but I got stuck with yet another Darth Vader hologram. Yeah, I guess it makes sense that with a Darth Vader action figure, you would give a hologram of him, but I got so many versions of Vader. It'd be nice to get like the Rebel Fleet Trooper or Count Dooku or something like that that's different. I don't even have a Yoda as of yet, but I got plenty of Vaders. But it is what it is. I'm sure at some point I'll get around to it. And I will mention I only paid a couple dollars for this, so not too bad at all. So if you're looking for an affordable Vader to have for your collection, and TVC is either out of your price range or interest, this is a great alternative for you. Without saying anything further, let's go ahead and open this up. I would just tear this package up because I'm not planning on keeping it, but with these flaps on the side here, it'd probably be a little easier to go ahead and cut it. And this kind of gives a demonstration too, if you want to know how to save your packages from the Saga collection. This is a small tutorial as to how you can do it. Best thing you can do is just cut the flaps on the side, and then if you can manage to cut the bottom here, you should be able to just peel off this card without damaging it. But I'm not too sentimental about it. Hopefully he's not sticky or deteriorated in any way. I've been running into that lately with some of the action figures I've been opening up. Put that there for the moment. Yeah, you can see this tray for the hologram Vader there is a little yellowed. I know I've showed this off before on the channel, so we'll show it now real quick. It is a nice Vader regardless, though. I guess of all the characters they have a lot of, this is not the worst one. And signature stand, Darth Vader, Empire Strikes Back. Always nice to get those. Too bad we don't get them anymore. I will show this background image off again. So it turns out it's a bunch of snowtroopers. Let's see if we show without the plastic. That'd be a nice painting to make. And looks like we're gonna have to feed that lightsaber through the bubble there. Kind of don't like it when they do that, because then you feel like you got to bend the lightsaber in order to get this out. Yeah, you can see that the blades will bent a little bit. I could probably mold that back into place. And you can see these elastic bands have deteriorated and worn off over time. Might have to mess with that a little later. So it looks like they taped this cape to the outside here. We'll have to feed it through this flap. I don't like it when they do that either, because I feel like it tears off the cape a little bit. There's really no easy way to do it. And then we're going to have to feed this cape through the small hole again. This helmet did pop off there. I figure the best way to do it is just feed it through slowly. Some people I see just rip it out completely, and you might tear up the cape by doing that. Let's see here. And they even tape his skirt down a little bit. So they really sealed this Vader figure in. So thankfully he doesn't feel too sticky at all. Might still need to give him a wash to get those elastic bands off. Yeah, pretty good looking Vader. I think that helmet sculpt is pretty good. As for the rest of his suit, it's pretty good as well. I like that they use the plastic for his robes on his torso there instead of being soft goods. That way when you rotate the waist, you don't have to worry about it potentially tearing on you. And it seems like this dome is a little loose on him. Might need to do something to keep that in place better. Doesn't want to stay on there too well at all. As far as articulation, it's swivel at the neck, then swivel shoulders, then swivel elbows, and swivel wrists, swivel waist, and swivel hips. Then, what is that, hinge knees? Yeah. So he's only got the one hinge joint on him at the knees, and nothing at the ankles. So the articulation's alright. Now let's see how he holds the lightsaber. Seems to hold it alright. Yeah, I'll need to do some tack or something to keep that helmet in place. Suppose that's one thing that's a bit of a drawback. Of course, you can see the back of his head there. But can't take the rest of the mask off. If you have them on display there, that looks pretty good. We'll bring out the Black Series Empire Strikes Back Vader here to compare. Obviously, this one's a fantastic Vader action figure. But if you're looking for a more affordable alternative, I think this one's still pretty good as well. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can really say about the Vader. It is what it is, and I'm sure most people are aware of it by now. It's not really anything that's new. But it's nice to be able to show off these older action figures every now and then. I'm glad it's in my collection now. I'm happy I got it. Like I said, I only paid a couple dollars for it, so even if I didn't like it, it's not the end of the world. Only thing I wish that was a little bit different about him is that dome. It's just way too loose on him. I'm not sure if that's just my sample or if that's a common problem with all of these. And his lightsaber, as you could tell, it did fall off one time. It doesn't stay in his hands the best. He does have quite a large gripped hand for both sides. This one's just more of an open palm. But this one, you pretty much have to put it in where the ignition switch there is within his hand. He can't really hold it anywhere else, so it is kind of loose there. But other than that, it's a pretty good Vader. If you're, like I said, cheap alternative, this is a good option for you. Happy to add it to my collection of Vaders. And at some point I do plan to do a collection tour of just the Darth Vaders. Not sure when I'll get to that, but someday I will. And anyways, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing / review. Stay tuned for plenty more reviews and unboxings in the future. There will always be more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate all your support. And check out some links in the description if you haven't done so already. And as always, thanks for watching.